Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mr. Sports. I mean, we're coming hot and heavy with all these episodes, Andrew. I'm Xander Frost.
I'm Andrew Lind.
And this is we're going to give you guys another NBA update. Today is Monday, January 11th. We are filming this in the afternoon around 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. We're just going to give you guys we got a lot of NBA news, actually. A ton of stuff that's happening.
Yeah, a lot going
past,
on.
24
and
hours.
we've been football heavy, so it's good. Also, I just want to say real quick, if you like us, hit that subscribe button.
Smash it.
Smash it.
Smash
dude.
it.
Break that computer, man. Fuck it. Tell mom to buy you a new one if you got it like that. If you don't, be careful, but hit it with enthusiasm.
Tell mom to buy you a new one, but say, I'll only accept it if you smash that like button on your computer, too.
True.
So,
And hey, I got to say real quick, too, even if you don't like the pod, play it and then just put it on mute, throw it on in the background, let us get that full listen. Like, whatever, man.
Let us get that full listen. And, if you got a problem with us, tell us.
Yeah.
We're
Fire off in
open
the
to
comments.
Fire off in the comments if you don't like Andrew's mustache. A little unkempt today, little wild.
Dude, it's like I was telling you my trimmer broke. I don't want to buy a new one. I didn't know they're so cheap.
You can get a really cheap mustache trimmer on Amazon for sure.
See, I had one that my friend, she worked at Art of Shaving, and she told me like you got to buy this trimmer, but it was like $40.
Art of Shaving, that's like a gourmet shaving
exactly.
place?
It's like high-end beard place. You can go in.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know. They'll probably go out of business now, but you can go in. You can get a lather up, like close shave.
Oh, that's sad. They definitely are out of. That sucks because even nobody's really shaving and nobody's doing a good job with this.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, us just doing this has made me think about my appearance for the first time in a long time.
I know, me too. That's why I haven't eaten since we've started doing this.
That's good. Well, you look good, dude. Your hair looks really like styled, but also like loose. Like it doesn't look like super manicured. It's got that perfect blend of like.
Do you like the beard? I trimmed it because it was kind of getting bigger, and I thought it made my face look sort of oblong. And I think I'm starting to get that like heart-shaped face back a little bit.
I do like the beard. I mean, I'm jealous because I can't really do the beard. So anybody who has a nice beard, I like it because I'm like, yeah, that's tight.
Well, it is a gift and a curse because I was showing you before. I got I'm thick with the hair, and that is a gift and a curse. It's a gift.
It's only
going to
get worse. I've just started getting ear hair, but it's blonde, but it's still like there, So maybe I don't get that.
I don't have like the. It's more that it's just. I don't have hair in, ladies at home. Or whoever.
And men,
whoever. But I don't have the hair in the ear. I don't have like the weird place hair. It's just that where I normally have had hair, it's just out of control. That's what I mean. It's like
so it's very concentrated. Do you have back hair?
A little bit.
See, I don't.
But I take care of
yet.
it. I take care of it. See, I take care of that.
How? What are you doing? Waxing or?
Well, I mean, if you want to get into it, I have waxed before. Now,
Do you have like a back scratcher type shaver where you just like kind of go up and down?
So I did. I did have a thing. But now you can just use. I mean, not to put off the people at home, but like you can. You can
people need to know.
You can use a regular razor. You got to be careful.
Okay, that's a little scary.
Be careful. Yeah. When I graduated college, I remember I went in for a few back waxes, and honestly, they help because they like it's like once you start traumatizing the follicles, it like makes them not come back. I don't love that. I am self-conscious. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little self-conscious about that.
About getting the wax or just the hair?
No, about the back hair.
All right, my bad. I didn't mean to bring that. Yo, we're gonna cut that. Tell our producer this is the edit point.
I'll tell you a story that I once told on stage. I told him that I went in the first time I ever went in for it. I think I was 21 or 22, and the person that came out, I went to high school with her, and then I just left because I was like, I'm not.
So you just didn't even go through with it?
It didn't go through with it. I didn't go through with it, and then I went back.
You saw her, and you were just like,
I think I said like I had a headache or
AIDS
something. I think I said headache.
Oh.
I have COVID, and she was like, "What?" Because it was 2000.
What is that?
You know?
You had COVID-17 or whatever.
I've got I had COVID-13, whatever. Yeah, I told her I had swine flu, and I ran out of there.
Okay, well that's legit.
Yeah, I said, "Oh," and I said I had swine flu, and I said I had anthrax. I said, "Oh, my doctor just called. I have anthrax."
So the doctor, not that you even had anthrax poisoning, he said that you physically had anthrax.
He said, "You are anthrax.
Possession.
You have anthrax."
Anthrax, like the guy with the long ass beard, right?
What are you talking about?
You know the drummer from Anthrax, like the metal band, and he's got that long ass fucking chin beard.
I mean,
full circle.
I know very little about Anthrax. Blackout. Right. I know
Maybe I'm making that up.
Edit. Well, honestly, you referenced a member of the band Anthrax. Hey, well, Andrew, we're not here to talk about anthrax or bioweapons. We're here to talk about the NBA.
All of my research is going to seem weird.
Let's get right into it. Let's test that research. So we got Pels, Mavericks, and Celtics Bulls both called off. We just got that news in. So obviously COVID has become, it's become a problem in the NBA. Joel Embiid going off because they made the Sixers play that game. This seems like a problem.
I would say COVID's kind of become a problem.
COVID has become
even outside.
You gotta kind of. It is kind of ironic that NBA was like the first league that it felt like NBA was the moment COVID became real, and now they're the ones that are not taking it. Where people are saying aren't taking it seriously enough.
Yeah, no, it is funny when you realized it's like at the end of the day, they're just going to be you demonize the NFL for trying to play, and it's like they just couldn't pull a bubble. Or like they're all kind of the same, right? It's not like the NBA is this like extremely virtuous league who, in the face of anything, would.
No.
I mean, not that playing. I mean, we don't have to get into too much. Like, if not playing would be the most morally virtuous.
They're gonna play.
Yeah,
they're gonna play.
And I think that's fine. I don't think the players don't want to play.
I mean, like that's my thing. It's like, well, whatever the players want. I mean, if the players don't want to play, it's like, then I don't think they're going to play. But it seems to me that the players do want to play. But I mean, I also saw today that they're meeting. The players' union is meeting with the commissioner to try to adjust the protocols. Obviously, we hope they handle it safely. But it does kind of harken back. If you remember in the MLB season, we had a set of breakouts early in the season, and everybody said there's no way this MLB season is going to happen. If you remember that Miami outbreak.
Oh yeah, it was like, dude, the MLB is so poorly run. This is a disaster.
Yeah, and then it settled in. And honestly, it really wasn't that big of an issue for most of the season. Like I think the Cardinals missed a lot of teams missed some games.
Yeah,
but
baseball is the easiest to recover because you can play 2 games in one day.
Yeah, and the players rarely have to come into close physical contact with each other.
That's true, and they're outside. It's literally everyone should be playing baseball right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say maybe we see which let's have all these NBA teams just play baseball until we have really good testing and stuff, and maybe until we have the vaccine.
That could be good.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan played baseball. I don't know if you
Michael Jordan played baseball. Michael Jordan played baseball.
Deion Sanders played baseball.
Kyler Murray.
Sport. Oh yeah, Kyler Murray. He was raw too. He was good.
Yeah,
first
really
round
good.
Pick.
When the Cardinals were at their peak this season, people were like, "Is he going to go back to baseball and ruin the Cardinals?" And then the Cardinals ruined their own season in football. I listened to an interview on the radio where he was like, I always miss baseball, and then I think subsequent to that, they blew it completely. So pretty funny stuff.
He's really talking about playing baseball.
I mean, he's not. I mean, people were speculating and asking him, if he would try to do both.
I will say, if you're gonna play one, I feel like football is a weird, like only because you're a quarterback. Like statistically, you're probably gonna make more money, and be safer to play baseball, right?
Yeah, well, it's a lot of years in the minors, even for good players.
Yeah, just the chances of blowing up. But if I mean, he's so athletic. I gotta believe he would make it to the majors, and you'd get this guaranteed contract. But since he's a quarterback, and I assume he's gonna get a big contract,
Pat
he'll get paid.
Connaughton. Pat Connaughton on the Bucks was drafted by the Orioles, my team, the Baltimore Orioles, and he chose the NBA. And it's like if you have a chance to play in the NBA, you play in the NBA.
Well, NBA is different because you get guaranteed contracts. It's less
Yeah.
dangerous. People have longer
Yeah.
careers, I think.
Yeah, much. I mean, even my like, I would absolutely. Plus, it's like there's a smaller team, so it's kind of cooler a little bit. You're like a little more popping. If you play
More camaraderie, tighter friendships, closer circles,
better male bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
So anyway,
it could get lonely. Yeah, it could get lonely.
very lonely. Yeah, because you're what if you don't fit in with your linebacking squad and the linebacking coach?
Especially this year, that's all you got because they can't.
That's all you
even
got.
Come together.
You're isolated. So I mean, I guess we'll have to kind of play wait and see. I do think that there's so much hyper. Like we saw people saying cancel the season. It is. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. If the protocols are bad or whatever. But it is just. I would just say this is the same thing that happened with the other major sports this year. Like we went through the same roller coaster early in the regular season, not playing in a bubble with the other sports.
Yeah, it seems like they just almost need this trial period for better or for worse, and then they kind of update and see what safety like what's working, what's not working. I mean, I do think it's a little absurd. Like a couple teams have a few people get COVID, and it's like cancel this whole season. All of these players' lives are at risk, and it's like, all right, I guess.
I mean, again, if the players want to do that, then I support people to choose their health or whatever, but. The players, I mean, it seems to me like the players want to play. I mean, it's like we were saying before we started recording. If they cancel this season, that is not good for the league.
Yeah, they're already struggling long term. It would fuck everything up versus like
a lot of dudes. This is the thing. People don't realize it's like you only got. Imagine if you're like 32, 33. Like, if they cancel this season, I mean,
it might be it for you.
It might be it.
Contracts are so top. Contracts are getting more top heavy now. Where I feel like, kind of like America, the rich get richer or whatever. But it's like people are getting these huge deals. There's not a lot of mid-level contracts. You're either like LeBron getting like 35 mil, or you're getting like 3 mil.
I mean, look at some of these teams. They have two big contract three, and then like a bunch of mid levels and like vet minimum guy. All I'm saying is like if you cancel the season, that is time that players are not going to get back.
Yeah, and I just want to say, and maybe I'm like pessimistic. I don't know what you would call it, but I'm like, what do you think these players are going to do when the season's canceled? They like going to go home and just self-isolate with like their family? No, they're going to be like playing basketball with each other, working out, doing stuff. Like,
that's a good point.
I don't think at least like now it's a little bit more controlled.
Yeah. I mean, I ultimately am like, what, it's a health thing. So like if players want to opt out, and I want them to do it as safely as possible, obviously.
Yeah, you can opt out. Like if they were that worried, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's maybe a small percentage of players who really don't feel safe, but then they don't want to not play.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously it's a tough situation, but I just think the idea of like unilaterally coming in and saying cancel the season, which is something that I would have to talk to players, but would certainly financially hurt a lot of people. Staff, players, it would financially hurt a lot of people long term. Like it would seriously, because again, people are just like, LeBron doesn't need the money, even down to like Devin Booker doesn't. Yeah, they don't need the money, but like NBA rosters, there's like 8 guys on even a good roster that are not making very much money for the rest of their career. Like they'll make the
and all the coaches, all the people that work for the team, work in security, all of them. And it's like, that's just how you can get like political about like how society's structured, but how it's set up right now, they do need money to like survive. So I don't know why just putting them all out of work is supposed to like I guess maybe morally you'd feel better, but they still need to like eat and do shit like that, which you kind of need money for.
And you already lost you've already lost, most of your box office revenue last year, lost, most of it this year. You lost all those games. You had to pay for the I mean, who knows financially what the bubble, we know they lost money last year, right? I'd have to double check, but like last year, there's no way they recouped all that.
They definitely didn't make what they want. I don't know if they lost money. I know the bubble was really expensive, like 150 million or something.
It was really expensive. I mean, I'm not sure. Well, my point is like they lost money versus what they were going to earn last season, obviously. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess I'm just saying it's complicated and there's a lot. I mean, it's a big, so obviously I think we hope that they figure it out in a way that's safe for the players and allows them to theoretically keep playing safely is what I would say for myself.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But going on to the health angle, I think I was worried about this. There've been a lot of injuries already this year. And I think you're going to keep seeing injuries because of just how weird the fact that that last season just ended. We're jumping right into a new season. This week.
Yeah. Thomas Bryant, I think that'd be a legit maybe criticism. Well, I mean, I don't know who's to say, but it's like, your body clocks are probably off. Even with the Lakers, I'm like, they're kind of playing a lot of players a lot.
Mm-hmm. They are. And it's just like, it's all screwed up. It's all screwed up because they didn't have time to reset. And if you think about it, it's like that last season they stopped, then they started super intense, then they stopped for a little bit. It's just not what any of these guys are used to physically.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder though, I don't really know. I wonder if there's data, like, is there more injuries right now than like there usually is, or do they just happen with
our promise to our fans is that we're going to look this up. We're going to try to see if we can figure this out.
We're going to crunch the numbers.
Well, Andrew, I'll just throw some at you. We already have Fultz done for the year, and Dinwiddie, but we also had Thomas Bryant tore his ACL, Bogdanovich fractured his knee. Westbrook's out for at least a week with a quad injury. We've had a lot of guys. Durant and Kyrie have each missed 4 games for various reasons. I mean, what do you make of all this?
Well, Durant and Kyrie, I don't know if you can chalk that to.
I mean, who knows?
I think
Kyrie might have been a personal day or something.
Actually, I think he is out right now for personal reasons.
He is.
I'm not sure what happened. I should probably look this up, but did he just not tell the team? He kind of just didn't take the flight.
I saw that they don't know where he is. I saw a reporter say that they don't know where he's off. I think they said he's off the grid.
I really hate, which I hope everything's okay with him, and I hope he's doing okay, but I find it.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize he was still out for personal. Can I really quick just get Yahoo Sports, Ryan Young's reporting. Kevin Durant says, we support him 100% after Kyrie Irving misses 3rd straight game due to personal reasons. So it's still unclear why Irving is out. Here's another from Steve Nash. Kai's still on personal leave, and all the communication with Kai between the organization I'm going to keep private, and I'm sure you'll hear from him at some point.
So he's been communicating with the team.
Apparently it's New York Post's Brian Lewis reported that Irving's personal reasons are a response to the attack on the U.S. Capitol. He was upset about the riots, I guess. This is according to Yahoo Sports. Ryan Young that's who wrote this article, and this is as of yesterday. But I think, Durant was missing games as well. I
guess that's legit. I don't know what's going on. I just find it, and maybe this isn't as applicable, but I just remember there was a show. It was a show at UCB, and this guy kind of just no call, no showed for a family personal. And I remember thinking what goes on? I think it's a bit dramatic when people if you have to be somewhere, it's so easy to just fire off one text, hey, some shit. It feels like you over dramatize your life when you're I can't even send this email because what I have going on. I'm come on, what's going on? You can't just be hey, I can't.
Well, I think for an improv show.
Well, no, it was like sketch. It was like, I mean, I
Oh,
don't know,
sorry. Sorry. It was sketch. It was sketch.
well, sketch is a little different. You prepare a whole show
Yeah.
with somebody in. I mean, I just find in general a lot of times people that have an emergency come up and they just completely like
Bail on
disappear.
you.
It's like that's an intentional way to me to over heighten how like serious you are about
I guess
the
it
matter.
all depends on what's really happening, right? Like,
Yeah. But like if I assume he was in contact with the team. If not, it's
It
like,
says
come
he
on,
was.
dude. Yeah. If it was, it's like just text us and be like, hey, I'm not. I don't know.
I mean, ultimately, I'll chalk this one up to like, it's none of my business. It's like one of those things where it's like, whatever, it's the team's business, like,
yeah, and they seem okay with it. So
he's going to do him. It was funny. I didn't realize that he really was taking, I thought I was under the impression that it was like he was resting or something. I didn't realize that it was truly personal reasons. I really did not realize that.
yeah.
I mean,
The Nets, I mean, they started so strong and now they've just kind of had a weird, but it was always going to be this way, right?
it's just funny because I was assuming, again, I didn't do enough research, but I was assuming Kyrie, a little fragile physically, like, and we were assuming he would take games off physically this season. But yeah, I mean, do you think that the Nets are gonna figure it out?
I mean, probably, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to win the championship.
I'm the one. I mean, I don't know if we ever put this on air, but I've been in our group chat notably skeptical of the Nets.
But that is like health wise, right?
Yeah, all of it. Health wise, I mean, Kyrie has not, without LeBron, has really not ever done any better than expectations.
Well, I don't think he's ever even finished a season except that one season with the Celtics where they all like hated him by the end,
Yeah.
even though they
and then
up.
he played horribly. He played inexplicably badly against the Bucks that they played in the playoffs. He played horribly in the playoffs.
They were just not feeling him at all. They wanted him gone, which is, but like the Nets played the Celtics and he was like dapping up Tatum and all. So it's like, oh, they had chemistry problems. Well, look at them. They're high. It's like, yeah, they don't want to play with this motherfucker though.
I think it seems to me like dudes like Kyrie in the abstract. Like it seems like everybody really likes him as like a dude.
Yeah.
But he seems to have some issues gelling on the basketball. Honestly, my read on him is he doesn't really want to play basketball. It's like he's more concerned with like politics and other things other than basketball.
Which is cool. I mean, he's kind of like, that's how Marlon Brando was. He like hated, he thought acting was so useless. I'm serious. He was like,
I know.
I should
I'm
be
laughing.
politically motivated. I should be like acting means nothing.
I mean, in a way, Kyrie's very similar because he's also an actor.
That's true. Uncle Drew was like.
Do you think one day we'll look at Uncle Drew the way we look at Apocalypse Now?
What do you mean? Do you not? That's already how I feel. I'm like, when there'll be multiple like recuts where the director keeps going in and like tinkering with Uncle
moments that you missed. Every time I watch Uncle Drew, I catch something else.
Dude, yeah, that way. And dude, Lil Rel, he's hilarious.
I love Lil Rel. I love
Lil Rel.
Lil Rel, who I think in Get Out, you got to say Lil Rel, one of the best supporting roles in a film, like in terms of most memorable, small bang for your buck.
So good. Yeah, every time he's on, you're just like, yeah, all right. Here we go. Yeah.
The audience, when I saw him it was a sold out show at the ArcLight, and the audience could not get enough. Like people were yelling. It was amazing. People loved. You're so rarely in a movie theater where that is the experience of the whole movie theater, but that was how good Lil Rel was. Except unless you go to like the Avengers or something on like opening night, but that's like not as fun.
Like Star Wars.
I saw Star Wars like the day. I think I saw The Force Awakens on the Thursday at the Cinerama Dome. Maybe it was the day, or maybe the day of, and people are like screaming and crying, and it doesn't. It's like
It was fun though. I did the same thing Thursday. It was at the Grauman's Theater, and people were like,
"It's fun,
cheering and shit."
It's definitely fun. It's definitely fun. It definitely like brings back the movie theater experience, but it's a little different than like you go to a movie you've never seen before, and this character or actor just like earns your love so much that you're in. You know,
and you're like, "Who the fuck was that?"
Yeah, exactly. Like you literally like I have no idea who that actor is.
And it's so depressing when you really look into it and you're like, oh, this guy's been a comedian for like 15 years. And he does this and that. And
definitely like, a reality check on us.
Yeah, you're like, what's my trajectory? I've not been in fucking anything. So I'm like 10 years out.
Yeah, 20 years out. Like, I don't even have this guy's got way more YouTube videos than I do.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm watching like, because over quarantine, you know, you just watch more shit. And I'm here. I'll watch a movie and like Cousin Greg is in it, you know, from Succession.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking this guy like came out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, he's been building up small roles for like 10 years.
What was he? He was in Sky High, I think.
Yeah, he was in Sky High. That's not what I watched over quarantine. It wasn't that much. He was in a movie, one of these like teen movies. You know the one with Paul Rudd, and he's like the teacher. And Emma Watson is in it. She's got the short hair. She's fresh off of being Hermione.
Is that
Perks of Being a Wallflower?
Oh, that was not
bad.
Really, I haven't seen it. Have you seen The Bling Ring?
No.
Do you know what that
Watson
is?
With the long hair, right? Or did she have short hair?
Long hair, longish hair. That's her as like an American teen. Do you know what The Bling Ring's about?
Yeah. Me and Miranda were just talking about that movie. Like,
you guys did it?
We did it, dude. Keeping up. Fuck it. We want to be famous.
Sofia Coppola. Honestly, it's such a strange movie. But worth watching, but also not.
You could skip it.
No, you should watch it. It's a movie where you watch it and you're like, I don't like any of these people at all, and this movie is irritating me very deeply the entire time. But it at least you're like,
is it like artsy and stuff? Because I've found Sofia Coppola. I'm like, it's just not for me. I don't think I exist on the plane high enough to take in this.
It's like art. This is like such a satire that like you're gonna hate everything about it, and it's like you come out of it and you're like, ultimately, I respect that the movie made me feel something. But I didn't, you know, it's like better than a bad movie that's ineffective at making you feel something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there's movies like Taxi Driver where you're like, wow, that was so well made. It really made me feel like shit the whole time. Made New York seem like this cesspool.
Or
I never want to watch again.
Uncut Gems.
But Uncut Gems was dope because it was, I don't know, like in a different way, because it was like excitingly painstaking, where Taxi Driver was like, fuck, man.
I remember I went into Uncut Gems I didn't know anything about it other than like one trailer I watched that didn't really tell me anything about it. And I went with my buddy and I turned to him after 10 minutes and I was like, is this whole movie going to feel like this? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I was like not emotionally prepared for that movie is, I love Uncut Gems. I love that movie, but it's
incredible. It's so good.
It is an hour 40 minutes of just anxiety. It never,
and just the worst. And I don't know if you like bet as much, but knowing like how much like sports betting, and you're like, dude, just stop. Oh, but I kind of understand. Like when he gets the ring and then he immediately fucking pawns it. It's like, are you fucking serious, dude? Just chill. Oh,
the scene where I don't want to spoil it, but Idina Menzel is also great in that movie. There's just like a lot of awesome.
Everybody's dude. Kevin Garnett, who I've never really liked,
he's great.
He's so good.
He's great in that movie. He's also his girlfriend's great. I mean, and I can't remember. I'm blanking on the actor's name, but Eric Bogosian.
Eric Bogosian. So
amazing in that movie. Amazing in that.
I guess he's like a playwright or some shit.
He's in everything. He's just great. That dude crushes every role. He's in Succession too.
Yeah, dude. That's when I watched. I was like, who the fuck? Like, how do I know this guy from the Bernie guy on Succession?
I think you probably know him from Law and Order: Criminal Intent. That's probably what you know him from,
dude.
And he was like their supervising their supervising officer on he would butt heads with Vincent D'Onofrio sometimes.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. All right, let's
anyway,
keep so
yeah, that's been our movie.
That's been our little NBA/movie update. So cool. So keeping it moving. I mean, we just did a midweek update last week, but the Raptors are now 2-7. Last night they lost to the Warriors. I think
Steph's worst shooting night of his career, I think they said.
Yeah, and the Warriors still won narrowly, but they still won. And I'd say, if you're the Raptors, how soon do you have to think we need to tank this year? It's a weird year. It's a great draft.
Yeah, I guess I wonder what's interesting about how bad they are is like, can they keep these pieces and still be bad? Like, can they tank without selling up? Like, I guess you'd want to sell high on like maybe Kyle Lowry because he's pretty old, but someone like Siakam, you're like, can he be a piece? Like, I think it's kind of clear Siakam can't be like your guy.
He's on a huge contract though.
Yeah, but if you get a rookie in there, you get like Cade Cunningham or Jalen Smith. I forget his name, but
I mean, thinking
you can afford to have a big contract guy like Siakam. Like, if he was a free agent today, he would get the same contract, right, that he has right now.
I mean, he's been pretty bad this year thus far.
I mean, that last play in the Warriors with that like little turnaround where you're just like, no chance.
Bro,
like, what the fuck was
Siakam
that?
is on a 4-year, $136 million deal. So, bro, his cap hit this year is $30.5 million. Next year, $33 million. Year after that, 35.4, 37.9. Like, that is
those are golf numbers.
Those are golf. He's like golf. He's who, obviously the Rams are thrilled with the golf stuff. They're still alive.
Dude, he kind of is like golf. It's like he has this great coach. He goes into the system. He looks really good. They sign him, and then he just kind of isn't that tight.
I would assume, because Siakam also got suspended internally because they said it was because he left the court early after that loss, or during that loss, but I mean, maybe that's what really happened. All I'm saying is, like, that's a huge contract. I do think, especially if you're concerned that he's not living up, you definitely should consider, because think about adding like a top 7 pick to this team next year. You still have Van Vliet, Anunoby, Norman Powell. You have.
But I think you got to get rid of Lowry and you got to get rid of Siakam, maybe.
Who's taking?
Can you trade?
Nobody's taking Siakam until he.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Westbrook just got traded. Like,
yeah,
anybody.
but I mean, that's not.
It just takes one stupid ass team like Charlotte to be like, we can get Siakam right now. All we have to do is give up like LaMelo.
Yeah, but I guess I'm like, listen, you're not going to trade after one tough year in a crazy situation. You're not going to trade Siakam for pennies on the dollar. You're not going to unload that contract. But
what about Siakam for like Bagley or like a player that maybe Bagley and Buddy?
They're not going to do that. You'd rather hope Siakam bounces back than give up on him.
Oh, okay. I thought you were pitching that he's like I don't know. So you think they should keep him?
I'm saying that it's not feasible to trade Siakam now. It's like you would be selling so low that it wouldn't be. I don't see them trading him at this point. So it seems to me like you're going to keep him.
What are his numbers this year? Let's look it up.
Okay,
we'll throw some music over this.
20, I have it right now. 20.3 points. He's got 8.3 rebounds, 4.5 assists, but 2.5 turnovers. His 3-point percentage is down to 32.5, 45.5 from the field. So he has bounced back a little bit. But his PER is only 16.82.
Yeah, I mean, you're putting up 20 a game. Like, I don't know. I definitely think he has value.
Let me be clear. I'm not saying he doesn't have value.
You're saying it's too low, but it could get worse. I mean,
he's being paid. Here's what I'm saying to be clear. He's being paid like a max, a big contract. He's being paid to be like a first option or a good second option on a team, right? That's how he's being compensated. So there's not going to be a huge market to pick up that, people are only going to take that contract with that if they're, feel like they're buying low on Siakam. So it doesn't make sense to trade him.
But if you're trying to tank, like, is he too good?
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're kind of circling around the same point because it's a tough situation. My bigger point is like, with all this said, all this uncertainty, you can't trade Siakam. Seems to me like it would really make sense to try to tank the rest of your team so that you can kind of hedge your bet and add a really cheap, high ceiling guy next to him. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's kind of been the thing on the Raptors for years, right? That they're kind of like on borrowed time, or it's just like, when is this team going to like bottom out? And does the GM, I'm blanking on his name, does he want to kind of come
Masai
in?
Masai
Ujiri, like completely retool this roster.
Well, they said for years
able to, because he's been.
They
so
said
good.
he always wanted to. That was the rumor, was that he wanted to, but they just kept doing better than he expected.
Well, if he wants to, then fucking A, he's about to like go in because that team is not good.
I mean, we'll see. I think they will bounce. I still think they'll bounce back. It's still conceivable they make the playoffs, but it's like you're already 9 games in. You're doing badly, and it's a great draft.
And it's a short season too, so it's like 9 games in,
and there's no fans, right? I think the Raptors now have no fans. They were letting some fans.
Well, they're like in Florida, right?
Oh yeah, but I think weren't they allowed? They're in Tampa Bay, but
oh yeah, so you can probably fill the stadium in Tampa Bay.
Probably. I think they changed their policy. I'll have to look that up. But they, my point is, you probably can't trade Siakam. He's having a down year. You wouldn't trade him on a down year anyway. You're sunk a lot of money in him. It's a great draft. You're not doing well. Just tank. Move Lowry, and try to.
Where
bring
do you think
in
Lowry could go? Maybe
where it makes sense.
I don't know.
Who needs a
Orlando?
I mean, I don't know if Fultz hadn't gotten hurt, but now if you're Orlando, it's like, don't go all in. Here, I'm gonna look right now. How about
Orlando? I don't think Fultz
Sixers?
is the difference between. Well, the Sixers, I don't know if they have another guy. Like, isn't Ben Simmons kind of running point there?
Yeah, I don't know if the salaries would match up. Let's see.
Because Lowry, is he on a pretty big contract?
Yeah, but I think it's short. It's
just like Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, I like how now players have to have contracts that relate to their size. Okay. His contract, Kyle Lowry, he signed a 1-year contract for $30.5 million. So he's a free agent at the end of the year.
Oh, so that's like an expiring. I mean, that's pretty valuable, right?
Right now, you could convince me. You could definitely trade him to the Knicks if they still keep chugging along.
Yeah, the Knicks.
Bucks have no room. Send him to the Knicks. You could send him to Hawks. No, I mean.
The Bucks is interesting. Yeah, the Hawks.
But the Bucks are the cap. Their cap's already all screwed up. I don't think they can make that happen.
And they just got what's his name?
Drew. But Drew plays best. Yeah, but Drew plays best. I feel like off the ball, but Giannis takes the ball. I don't see that happening. But okay, there's not that many good fits. I mean, the Lakers. I doubt it, but that could fit. He could fit there. The Clippers, it's a big contract. I don't know if they'll have room.
Yeah, the Clippers, they wanted like another like ball handler, right? I don't know if they got that really in the offseason.
Jazz have Conley and Mitchell. Warriors, no. Mavericks, probably not. Blazers, no. Thunder. Quietly, the Thunder are 5-4. They're 8th right now. They're 5-4.
What the hell, man? They need to tank. Like, why are they winning?
It's just funny.
They refuse to be bad. Well, what about Lowry to the Pelicans? He could run this show. They could get Lonzo or something. A little reclamation project. Get Lonzo on his third team.
Yeah, that's fun. Let's fire up the trade machine.
Live. Here's a live.
Let's see if we can make Lowry for Lonzo work.
They probably need to throw in like Adams or something. because
there's no, they're not going to.
So big.
And I don't know with bird rights if they can turn them around that fast. Okay, here, Lowry. Let's see if Lowry for Lonzo straight up works. Trade failed. Oh, okay. Here.
For the listener, maybe I'll throw in a freestyle right here to
yeah, please do. Okay, so Stanley Johnson and Lowry, that doesn't work.
Are you adding contract? I mean, what's Lonzo's contract? Is it up after this year too?
Yeah, he's an RFA at the end of the year. So Lonzo's at $11 million. Kyle Lowry's at 30.5. So if you did, let's see. Yeah, if you want to, I should wish we had like a live. I wish I was recording what I was doing. But okay, so let's see. What if? Okay, so they have that would put them at minus 19. I guess neither team really has the cap room. Maybe this won't work.
Bledsoe.
Oh, that's good.
Man, Bledsoe. I was watching a game, and I think they were down, and they kicked it to Bledsoe to like tie it up, and he just airballed a three, and I was just like, "Yep, that's okay,
hold on, I might have something. Okay, I got a trade. You could do Eric Bledsoe and Lonzo Ball for Kyle Lowry.
I mean, how long is Eric Bledsoe's contract? Because I wouldn't necessarily want to
3 more years. 3 more years.
Fuck. And you might have to pay Lonzo. So it
but
might
the Pelicans have some assets.
That's true. They have like 19 first rounders. But do they want
Eric
Kyle
Bledsoe
Lowry
and Lonzo Ball for Kyle Lowry? I don't think that is an inconceivable trade.
And if you're Toronto, you're like, let's just give. Well, is Van Fleet like a true point guard there? Like, could you just give the keys to Lonzo and be like, let's see what you can do? If it's not good,
the problem, I would say the bigger problem is you got to re-sign him after the year.
Yeah,
and he's restricted.
But he's restricted.
Somebody might throw him a fat offer sheet. You never know.
But that depends if he plays good. I think like if he's good, you'll maybe want to match, and if he's not good, then you're like, fuck it.
What if it's Lonzo Ball? What if it's?
I'd probably want a first. I might want a first rounder.
Yeah, but the Pelicans have a lot of assets too.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this?
Throw in one of their many first.
What if they did Kyle Lowry for Jackson Hayes, Lonzo Ball, JJ Redick, and then you move?
No way, dude. No way. They're giving up JJ.
I know. I was gonna say then you flip JJ to a third party.
Back to the Sixers.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think you could potentially play with the picks and stuff, but that's an interesting one. I mean, it kind of depends if the Pelicans are making a push and feel like they have a chance.
I think the Pelicans have to because they can't. They're in no like tank mode with Zion. They're gonna just try to win as much as they can.
It is pretty funny that the West is kind of shaking out here exactly how we thought it would shake out. The bottom of the West is the Wolves are the worst, then the Grizzlies, Rockets, Kings, Pelicans, Nuggets, Spurs, Thunder. Like the Nuggets,
yeah, except for the Grizzlies being down, but that's just because Ja is hurt, right?
Yeah, but also like Justice Winslow was hurt. I was not JJJ. Like I was not high on. I personally was not high on the Grizzlies. I thought that this would be be a down year. Last year was a little bit of an aberration.
Really? Obviously, I feel like Ja has taken a step up. If he didn't get hurt, like he was playing super well. So as soon as Triple J came back, like they were going to be, I think, pretty smooth sailing. And maybe they still will be.
Yeah, but I don't know. The West is really good. It's just funny because it always shakes out that it's the same teams. It's always the obvious teams.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I thought the Suns would be good, but they're not like an obvious.
I thought the Suns would be top five. I mean, they played great at the end of the year and they added Chris Paul. I mean, what more do you want? Like that team.
I see what you're just saying, like what you think at the beginning versus
I'm
like
saying
every year it's the same teams.
No, I'm saying it's like the teams at the beginning of the year that you expected to be pretty good. Even already, it's starting to shake out that way. I think the Nuggets are 500, but I think the Nuggets will end up obviously in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's insane that some of these teams in the West won't make the playoffs versus like in the East, it's like the Magic or someone like that.
But yeah, but the top 10, theoretically, the top 10 are going to make it. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, if you want to move on to this little segment,
please.
I spent hours kind of painstakingly prepared.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the top. It's like a few weeks into the season now. The statistics are obviously all these things won't hold, but the league leaders in different categories.
This is going to be bad. I'm going to do very badly. I know I'm going to do very badly here.
All right. Yeah, but it starts to, you know what I'm saying? We're at the point. Has the season been going on for a month now?
We're about 10 games, 9 or 10 games in. So what, like 3 weeks?
Okay. But all right. So yeah, I just want to check and see if you can name the league leaders in a few different categories. So why don't we start? Where do I even find mine? I don't know. Do you want to try to do top 5 or do you want to just try to name like the number one guy?
Just give me the category and I'll try to guess some guys in the top 5.
Okay. Let's start with just points per game.
Bradley Beal.
Yeah, that's good. He's number 1, 35 a game.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was surprised he's number 1 though. I haven't really.
His volume's insane. Even last year, his volume was insane. There's no one else on that team, and they don't play any defense. There are other people like Bertans, but they just gun it. Okay, Harden.
Harden surprisingly is not on it. He's had a few duds after coming out strong.
Okay, who else would be Lillard?
Lillard not on.
Wow. This is kind of.
It's a weird 5. It's a weird 5. Two of the names on here, I don't think will last. They make sense, but they also don't.
Steph?
Yeah, Steph is number 2, 28-6.
Okay. So who else? I mean, I don't know. Gosh, this is hard. It's been so weird. Embiid?
Nah, Embiid not up there.
Oh man, this is gonna be. This is brutal. I don't think Devin Booker's on there. I think his numbers are a little down.
The Suns have just been distributed. It's like every game a new like Mikal Bridges. I wonder if he like leads their team in scoring.
Tatum,
nope. Yeah, I would think Tatum, huh?
Brogdon.
Nope, not Brogdon.
Man, Vucevic.
There you go. No, I'm kidding. He's not on there.
Man, I honestly... Okay, Gordon Hayward, Jimmy Butler.
No.
Well,
you're missing one. You're missing a big one.
LeBron?
No. Similar LeBron. A few-time MVP.
Oh, Durant?
No, few-time MVP.
Few-time MVP.
A couple times this guy's won MVP.
Giannis?
Yeah, Giannis is up there.
Give me the other two. This is
the
hard.
Other two won't last. I don't think it's C.J. McCollum.
Wow, yeah, he's been the best player on the Blazers this year.
Yeah, and Zach LaVine.
I don't know. That might last, dude.
Yeah, it might just because he's just chucking it all game. But I feel like I don't know. Like I got to think Harden gets back in there, Durant or Kyrie.
I took if only we finished the season last year in fantasy. I took LaVine. And this year he would have been a nice pick, it seems like.
Yeah. All right, let's go to assists. I think this is a little easier in terms of like.
Okay. Jokic is number 1, I think.
Jokic is number 3.
Oh, he was.
All right, he's up there. He's averaging a triple-double.
Simmons?
No, Simmons isn't up there. Kind of
CP3?
Yeah, CP3 is number 5. 8.5.
Let me think here.
Number 1 and 2 are interesting because they make sense, but they also, it feels like insane that they are. But you're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Hope that helps.
Okay. LeBron?
No, actually, no.
Luka?
No.
Wow. I already said Jokic was one.
Maybe they don't make sense. There's one guy that I love on here.
Okay.
He's Luka adjacent.
He's Luka adjacent. Oh, Trae Young.
Yeah, Trae Young, number 4.
Okay, Trae Young. Trying to think who else would be.
You're missing 1 and 2.
I'm missing 1 and 2.
Yeah, our league leaders.
Okay,
in dishing the basketball.
In dishing the basketball. Okay, hold on. This is gonna be bad.
We should put a little graphic on this video,
I
like
know.
ding, like Family Feud, like.
Seriously. Okay, I'm gonna guess. I don't know. I get this is like super. This is hard. I said Giannis, right? I guessed Giannis.
You didn't in assists per game.
No, yeah, that's silly. I'm just trying to think like who's pouring it in that I'm missing. I don't know.
These two guys have led. I think they must have led the league in assists.
Conley
in the past. No.
What Lillard?
Think like not necessarily good, but they are leading the league in assists.
This is embarrassing. They're not necessarily good, but they're leading the league.
I mean, they're good, but you
Harden?
wouldn't start. Yeah, Harden's number 2.
Okay.
Like you wouldn't be like, I need a facilitator on my team. I'm getting this number 1 guy.
Beal?
Close.
Oh, Westbrook?
Yeah, Westbrook.
Westbrook
11.3 a game.
Westbrook for the top of that is the hardest prompt. That is brutal.
But it's weird because he does kind of stack the stats, right? It's like, oh, of course, fucking Westbrook has 11 assists.
That's why I asked Giannis and Luka, because I'm like, those guys just like their usage rate is so high that maybe
they're on teams that are scoring. I guess, but Washington scores a lot too. They just lose.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Okay, let's do one more. What's next? Boards.
Well, there's boards or 3-point percentage is kind of interesting. Although, yeah, that you'll like never guess.
Let's do boards and then just tell us the 3-point percentage.
Okay. Top 5 rebounds per game.
Okay.
All of them double digits.
Okay. Giannis.
No.
Wow.
These are weird names too.
Embiid.
No, not Embiid.
Drummond.
Yeah, Drummond number 1, 15 a game.
It's always Drummond. Jokic.
It was always Drummond. Nope, he's actually not.
AD.
Top 5. Nope. I don't think any of these other players. Well, actually, one of them could possibly make an All-Star. No.
Sabonis.
Yeah, Sabonis number 4.
Vucevic.
Your guy Vucevic. No, he's not.
Always guess Vucevic.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else would be surprisingly capable? Again,
two of these guys I wouldn't guess. One of them, it's like, oh yeah, okay.
Aldridge?
No.
Draymond?
No, come on.
Kleba?
No.
Gobert.
Yeah, Gobert number 2.
Okay.
That's where you're like, all right, yeah.
I don't know, like Siakam, or no, it's not Siakam. Aaron Baines, some weirdo, like some weird Millsap. No, not Millsap. What about Jeremy Grant?
No.
Oh man,
the two guys they're like power forwards.
Christian Wood.
Oh, that's a good guess. No, I think he's center. He plays center. Well, maybe these guys kind of play the 5. You know, the NBA is so weird nowadays.
Damn, I don't know. I mean, Whiteside, Rashawn Holmes. No, it's not Rashawn Holmes. No. I don't know. You got to just tell me. I don't know.
All right. Number 3 is Clint Capella.
Okay.
13.1 a game. And number 5.
Good for Clint, dude. Good for Clint.
Yeah, solid. Number 5 from the playoff-bound New York Knicks. Julius
Mitchell
Randle.
Robinson?
Nah, Julius.
Oh, really? Julius Randle.
Yeah, 11.8
That makes sense. He's
I think
active.
He's leading in minutes, too.
He's wild. He's pretty good. I mean, not at defense or at doing things that really are generally good for teams, but...
Yeah, no, I went to a Lakers-Sixers like 3 years ago, and it was like pre-LeBron, so Randall was probably their best player, I don't know, and Embiid just fucking lit him up. He had like 47 points, 15 rebounds. It was it was sad.
He's sort of like he's like a worse Paul Millsap.
Yeah, but I think he can score a bit. Like he's gotten better.
How about this? He's like a more sugary Paul Millsap. Like
yeah,
it's like a lot of the stuff, the flashy stuff, like that's fun in 2K, he can do.
He's got the Kentucky background.
But whereas like Millsap is also an undersized 4, but Millsap can defend and he can swing the ball. He doesn't turn the ball over that much.
Millsap may be a better defender.
Much better defender. It's not even close.
But Randall has steadily, like, he's gotten better. Like, he's gotten owned, but he doesn't give up. I don't know. Like, even they played the Sixers really this year, and he was going off for a little bit. And I think Embiid just eventually.
Okay, don't look this up. How old is Julius Randle?
Well, he was a 7th pick. I think that was like 2014. I think Kobe was on the team with him. So I'll guess that was 7. I'm guessing he's 27.
26.
20. Fuck, I almost fucking said 20.
You almost got it. It's 26, just turned 26 in the end of November. I mean, he's averaging 20. Dude, his numbers, 23.2 points, 11.8 boards, 7.1 assists.
What the fuck? It's like all NBA.
The Knicks are 4 and 5.
Okay. Oh, they're under 500 now.
Well, right. Hold on, let me just double check that, but I believe they're off the top. Yeah. Oh, sorry. 5 and 5. They're 5 and 5.
Okay. Well, they're getting run into the ground, right? I mean, him and RJ lead the league in minutes, but they're young.
We need them in the playoffs. We need some weird ass Knicks team in the playoffs, man.
I feel like it sucks in a way because this is the draft. It's like, I mean, that happens every year with the Knicks. They're always like, this is the draft where they'll get someone, and they end up with RJ instead of like Ja Morant.
RJ Barrett's PER is 10.68, which is not good. On the ESPN thing, when it says like what rank they are, it says 150 plus.
Oh my god!
In the league, that's his rank.
All right. Well, I will say, speaking of New York, for 3-point percentage, Alec Burks leads.
I was just gonna say he's their second leading scorer.
Dude, he's putting up 66% on threes, and he shoots 5 a game. It's not even like.
Yeah, dude, the Knicks are not going to sustain this.
No. A crash is coming. It's like Bitcoin, unfortunately.
Well, we got a Bitcoin crash today and last night.
I know.
I was reading. There's a lot of people still bullish. It'll come back. I put a little more money into Litecoin last night and I lost a lot already. But we'll see what happens.
Okay, I was losing because this weekend I was taking my Bitcoin and putting it into my like gambling website and betting with that. And it's about the same if I had just kept it in Bitcoin, lost a little bit.
So yeah, 3-point percentage. You got any more?
Seth Curry, number 2, shooting 59.5%. Again, with 5 a game. 5 or 6. I don't know if those will last.
Wow, number 3 is hysterical.
Yeah, PJ. And you see, PJ Tucker's shooting it a lot. I think there's like a minimum that they'll put on there, right?
Attempting 3. He's hitting 1.6 a game.
Okay,
give us the last 2. The last 2 are funny too.
Yeah, number 4, Pat Connaughton, your boy, the baseball player. He's also scoring about 6 points a game. And it's weird if you're that basically means he hits like 2 threes a game. He's making 1.7. So basically his scoring is I shoot 2 threes and a free throw every game. That's just not bad. And then Langston Galloway, who I haven't thought about. Is this even the guy I'm thinking of? Yeah. Haven't thought about him in a while. 5 points per game.
Former second-round pick of the Knicks that panned out, right? Isn't that right?
Looking now, I guess he was undrafted.
Or undrafted, yeah. I know.
But he was on the Knicks.
Yeah, I remember when I had in college, I'm from New York, and most of my friends were diehard Knicks fans, and they were all. I remember there was like the brief window where they were trying to convince me that Langston Galloway was the answer.
Dude, his rookie year, he played 32 minutes a game, putting up 12 points, on 40% shooting.
And let's see that. How did they Knicks?
100% on his free throws this year.
And that Knicks team, that Knicks team did not make the playoffs.
No. Well, that when they had like Landry Fields and like
yeah.
the
Remember when they paid the Raptors paid Landry Fields? The Knicks were the worst team in the league.
That's pre-Masai, right?
Yeah, they paid Landry Fields, and then Masai didn't he flip Landry back to the Knicks? Or no?
Did he? I like to think he did. Landry Fields like out of the league now, right?
He's out of the league. The Raptors gave the Raptors gave him a 3-year, $20 million offer sheet, and the Knicks declined it. So actually, smart decision by the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Landry Fields, another one who my
oh yeah.
You know who else I loved? Man, like going through college with Knicks fans who like just got Melo and were like super delusional was awesome because it was sad. A new dude. It was a new dude it was like I remember Chris Copeland was good. They loved Chris Copeland. They loved who else did I have to hear about was really good? Who else was on that team? Who am I blanking on? The third dude in the Billups trade. The Melo Billups and
wait, they traded Billups to
Raymond
Felton.
Oh yeah, Raymond Felton. Hold on. The Carmelo trade, dude, the Carmelo trade is actually pretty wild because
I'm trying to remember. You saying the Knicks traded Melo?
The Knicks when the Knicks got Melo. Sorry.
And that trade?
Okay, yeah, here we go. They got Sheldon Williams. This is who I was thinking of. Ronaldo Balkman. That's who I was thinking of. Who obviously didn't play, but I remember when that would be my friends were like, like Ronaldo Balkman might be able to give us minutes.
Was he like in Europe and they were like, he's going to come over and like.
No, he was on the Nuggets. Ronaldo Balkman was on the Nuggets.
Oh, okay.
No, he wasn't he wasn't a European player. He was actually on. He's Puerto Rican. He was on.
Okay.
He was on the. Hold on. He was
Okay,
okay, that's right. This is why they were hyped on him because he was on the Knicks, then he was traded to the Nuggets, and then he got traded back to the Knicks, and he didn't play. And again, Sheldon Williams was in that trade. Man, I missed that. Now Knicks fans are just sad.
Yeah, and they're like Austin Rivers has been really like kind of progressing in our system, and like Randall and RJ.
I hope they make the playoffs. I doubt it, but all right. So this has been our NBA check-in. I think you got anything else, Andrew?
Nope. Started making my own cold brew. It's pretty good.
Really?
I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
You got to do it overnight.
Well, I did like an 11-hour. The thing is, I don't know if you know about, but I don't know if you know about this because I haven't told you. So if you do, that's kind of scary. But you can buy expired coffee, like big bags of expired coffee from Starbucks. So it's like for $10 or $20. It's like a 5-pound bag. And I looked it up. I guess expired coffee, it's like safe to drink. It's just a little bit less good.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to make cold brew, and it's still good. It's some like good like reserve.
You got to do it overnight.
Well, I did the opposite. I did like in the morning at 9 a.m. and then at 10 p.m.
Well, how are you cutting it?
I just have a little grinder.
No, but I mean because after I worked
thick.
I worked for, at a donut shop for years, and I've worked at a breakfast restaurant. Do you do 1-to-1 syrup to concentrate to water?
I did 2-to-1.
So that's heavy.
Well, what do you mean concentrate? Or I didn't dilute it. I didn't dilute it.
You didn't dilute it at all? It's just pure concentrate?
Is that what you make? Is it concentrate? I thought it was just straight up cold brew.
I would make the concentrate, and then you mix the concentrate so it's like 1-to-1.
How do you make
like,
the constant? Is it 1-to-1 when you make the concentrate?
No, so it's like you make the concentrate.
On like beans to water. What was the ratio?
I would make, I don't know. We had this like thing, this big bucket, and you'd make the concentrate. We would put a full bag of grounds in like a sack, soak it in the water, and then just get a thing of concentrate in this, like probably like a half gallon or a gallon of concentrate.
Like a vat.
Yeah, a gallon of concentrate. And then we would cut we would 1-to-1 concentrate to water. And like a lot of like the turbo, something like I think turbo might literally be like just pure concentrate, but like, and then at the breakfast restaurant I worked on, I think it was 2-to-1, 2 parts concentrate, 1 part water.
That's interesting. But like when I made this coffee out of the drip and then I put it in the fridge to like make iced coffee, it was super fucking good. So I was like, oh, the cold brew is probably going to be even better. But it's not the same. Really?
If the concentrate's I can't do just pure concentrate. That it's like, first of all, it's like crack. It's like freaks you out.
But I don't know if I made concentrate because it's like a 2, maybe 3.
Maybe you didn't. Maybe what you made is not concentrate. It's actually already diluted.
I think so. So it was good. I mean, it is good. I was just bummed.
Yeah, I've been as you know, I've been fasting, intermittent fasting. So I can't eat till 1 p.m. So I end up like drinking too much coffee in the morning and get like.
Yeah, that would fuck me up.
It does a little bit, but now I'm drinking LaCroix and I'm like, should I not be doing this? I'm having a whole problem, but all right, Andrew. That's been Andrew's cold brew check-in. And I'll give you guys, or later this week, I'll give you my whatever my beverage of choice is that I'm working on. Probably gonna be LaCroix. I'll give you a LaCroix check-in.
All right, I like the teas.
All right. Make sure you smash that subscribe button so hard you break your family's computer. Make sure that nobody can play solitaire on the computer in the living room. Fuck that. So smash that like, subscribe, follow us, Mr. Sports Online. I've been Xander Frost at Xander H. Frost.
I'm Andrew Lynn at Drew Print. Later this week, we're going to do the preview, the divisional round, super divisional round preview.
Super divisional round. The whole playoffs this year are just super.
Yeah, I definitely thought, like, when you were calling it Super Wildcard, I thought that was like a joke of you, like
that's
like
what they're
a dumb
calling
name.
It.
I know that when I saw it, I was like, oh, that wasn't a bit. They're literally calling this Super Wildcard Weekend.
It's because there's this extra games. Pay attention, Andrew. You got to watch the way they promote things.
You're right.
It's Toyotathon. It's Toyotathon, right. Andrew.
All right.
It's Honda days. All right, Andrew. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out.